Okay. Guys, welcome back. Stretford Saffas, ready to bring you a match preview for our game against Wolves on Monday night. A lot of tension coming into this fixture, primarily based on our struggles against them last season. A few tough results, especially at the Molineux. But let's take it away with Stretford Singer. What do you think? What do you expect, rather, coming into this game?
I'm expecting an extremely tough game. The Wolves are just a very good side. We struggled there. Got a lot to prove, and also just the timing of the fixture. First Monday night football of the season at Wolves. Their first game of the season under the floodlights. It's really going to be a battle, but it's one I'm looking forward to, and one that I think now with the resilience we have at the back that we can go there and come away with a positive result.
Yeah, I definitely think it's tough to argue. I mean, coming in with a surefire back four really does help our cause, I suppose. But Jaxo, what do you have to say? What do you think?
I mean, listen, 4-0 win against Chelsea. 21's coming home, boys. That's all I've got to say. I mean, I'm not getting too optimistic.
What's coming home, mate?
We're above the Scousers already. They're just looking up the table. They're looking up the table. I mean, listen, we're going to go absolutely batter up Wolves. We've had our tough times there, but tough times are there. You've got to overcome obstacles. We're going to go there, batter them 4-0. 4-0 FC's back. 21's coming home. I'm joking. I'm not actually joking, but, I am joking. I'll talk about Wolves when we talk about the opposition. I'll give a more in-depth analysis. But, 21's coming home. Looking forward to it.
All righty. Well, with that in mind, I think one of the key factors to account for when taking on a side like Wolves is that they have in the width. Their fullbacks really do provide a superb outlet for them, building from the back, quick on the counter, whatever it may be. We saw the diamond set up against them last year, and it really didn't work. I think owing largely to the fact that we were positioned very narrowly, not really covering the wide spaces. But again, Wan-Bissaka now, Shaw now, looking hard, looking good. I don't know. 3 at the back, 4 at the back. What do we really expect? I'm going to go with Mr. Singer. Let's just give a little analysis of your expected formation.
I wouldn't be against going with the 3, but I just think now it's all about continuity. We finally got a centre back pairing that we can settle on. We got a right back we can settle on. We got a left back we can settle on. I just think you got to keep them playing, and I think with a proper back 4, you shouldn't actually have too much trouble playing against a 3 at the back, because you've got proper full-backs now. We've got proper centre backs, whether the crosses are coming in, they can deal with it. So I think we're more equipped to deal with this Wolves team playing with a 4. I think last year we had to play with the 3 owing to the personnel we had available, but I think for now a 4 will be fine if we just adapt ourselves and play with a bit of width.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think it's something to consider. Obviously, I do think Ollie might be pondering over the 3 at the back. I mean, the fact that we haven't really used the formation too frequently, if at all, under Ollie is a little bit of a risk. But Jackson, what do you have to say? What are your thoughts?
I mean, listen, I'm just going to throw my predicted 11 out there. I think we're going to see, what I would like to see, I'd like to see one change from the team that beat Chelsea 4-0. Just to remind people, we beat Chelsea 4-0. I'd like to see one change. Daniel James, for me, just come in for Andreas Pereira. I think Pereira offered a lot off the ball. I think, yes, he gave for Anthony Martial's assist a great ball, but I think Dan James can offer as much, pressing, and I think he can offer a lot of problems on the counter-attack. I think he likes to hold his width. I think the one problem we had against Chelsea is the left-back kept getting up and down. Emerson had a few chances, and that's because we didn't have a natural winger to track the fullback. And I think against Wolves, who love playing with wing-backs, like you discussed, that's their real outlet. So for me, I would play Dan James as a more natural winger, can track the fullback if needed, but can also cause the fullback a problem going that side. So listen, I want to see some continuity. So there's no other changes I would make. There's no reason to. After a convincing win. So, that's the only change I'd make to the starting 11.
Okay. I definitely think it's hard to argue with that. Truthfully, I agree fully. But another topic, I mean, as much as the wing-backs are such a threat when facing Wolves, I think it will very much come down to the battle in the midfield. Again, Pogba played superbly. 2 brilliant counter-attacks against Chelsea, both of them leading to goals. One, Marcus Rashford, and the other from the new boy, Dan James. But again, I think as much as their fullbacks are their strength, guys like Ruben Neves are absolutely superb in terms of their quality. And I think it's really important that whoever's played with Pogba in the midfield really steps up to the game and maybe sits back a little bit deeper and, causes a little bit of extra trouble for Wolves. But, again, I think my only change would be Dan James in for Pereira. Again, I'm not taking anything away from Pereira. Presses superbly, very high intensity, high energy player. But for me, Dan James has got to come into this fixture. That pace, that acceleration, everything about him is just down to cause trouble for Wolves. And Singer, any changes you might make?
I think I'd be happy to see the same starting 11. I'm not the biggest fan of Pereira on the right, but he will work hard. Also, the key thing about Pereira, he's got a very good set piece delivery. He's got good crossing ability. We will get our fair amount of set pieces where it could be an outlet for us with Harry Maguire on the field. There's Paul Pogba, there's Scott McTominay, there's some big guys. Also, I'd like Dan James the last 30 minutes. Once Johnny's really thought he's had the freedom of that left flank, and then give him something else to think about. The game will open up a bit. Because I think both teams are going to be going for a win. I can't see why I think both will want to win. So I think a game will open up a bit at some stage where James could really come be a difference maker for us. But also on the Ruben Neves, João Moutinho type thing in the midfield, I think now the way we're playing with a bit more energy, I think guys like Jesse and Scott McTominay, especially those two, will really get about them and not allow them to have their 6-7 touches they want on the ball. And it'll be difficult for them. They won't have the freedom of the park to sit and pick 30-yard diagonals all game long.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. Look, there's a lot that can be said. There's a lot of options to go with. There's a lot of formations not a lot, but there's multiple formations we can consider. Let's get straight to the point. Jackson, what do you expect the scoreline to be come Monday night?
Just before I get onto the scoreline, just to put in there about the Wolves midfield, I think it's clear to see under Ollie, we don't have we didn't get in the Bruno Fernandes, the Eriksen, the guy. I don't think we are a team that's going to dominate possession. I think you've got to play to your strengths sometimes. I think the likes of Jesse and Scott are going to press and they're going to want to get tight. But at times, let them have the ball. If you have a solid back four and you've got a guy like Scott sitting in front, and let them have the ball and hit them on the counter attack. When they're committing too many numbers forward, I think we've got to play to our strengths. And I think the counter attack is the best part of our game at the moment. So just wanted to get that in there. But I'm confident. I think our last two games there have been tough under the floodlights, but third time lucky. I think I'm going to go 4-0 FC. 4-0 FC. Why not?
I like your optimism, I must say. Mr. to say that.
Your optimism.
I think we're going to win it 2-0. I think there'll be a goal in the first half, and then we'll score a late counter around about the 80th. Once James is on the field, I don't know if he's going to score it, but he'll be involved in it. I think a 2-0 win, another clean sheet for the boys. Move on.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you for free that I'll take either of your results. For me, I feel as though it's going to be a really tight one. I do think we're going to get the 3 points. I'm going to go with a 3-1 scoreline. And I feel like Wolves might get that first goal, but what that'll do is just spring the boys into action. Wolves will attack us. Maybe they won't, but either way, I think we're going to rip them apart come the end of the game.
21.
But
21.
Let's hope we're right.